This screencast is a demonstration of CommerceBug 2, the world's greatest Magento debugging extension. The way CommerceBug works is on every page of your Magento system when CommerceBug is installed, and that's front-end and back-end pages, you will get this debug menu up in the upper left-hand corner. Click on it, and the CommerceBug UI will display. These tabs contain information about Magento's MVC architecture. MVC stands for Model View Controller, and it's the architecture that many novices find intimidating when working with Magento, and many non-novices find tedious when working with Magento. CommerceBug solves both of these problems by keeping track of what the MVC architecture is doing. You can concentrate on building out your store features. We're going to go over what each tab does here very briefly. The Request tab contains the controller class as well as its location on the file system, and some additional information, including the path info. The path info can be very useful. For example, we are on a catalog category page, but the URL is the SEO-friendly URL, electronics/sell-phones.html. But looking at the path info, we can quickly tell that, oh, this category's ID is 8. That can be very important information for developers to have. The Models tab contains a list of all the model classes used for this page request. Models in Magento are how information is read and written to the database. This is in place of using raw SQL. Again, you get the class name and its location on the file system. You will get that for all the classes listed in CommerceBug. You also get a list of the number of times a particular model was instantiated on the page. Similarly, the Collections tab has the same information. Collections are sort of like saying select star from products. In Magento, instead of doing that, you instantiate a product collection and then tell the collection object which products you want to load. And so it loads a number of collections. The Blocks tab. Blocks are responsible for rendering HTML. So you get the class name, the location on the file system, and you also get the template that a block is in. This is useful for debugging themes, making sure you're editing the right file. This is also a good time to display one of the new features of CommerceBug 2, which is the search field. Let's say you were looking for the pager template, but you weren't sure where it is, and you're looking at this long list of blocks, and you're like, oh, I don't want to look at all that. All you need to do is type in the word pager into the search field, and voila, you will instantly see the pager block and the pager template without having to worry about the other classes. The Layout tab. Layouts are probably a little too complex to get into in a single screencast. If you've read No Frills Magento Layout, you know this is true. But briefly, what this tab does is it displays the handle information used on the page, as well as some useful design theme package information. New to CommerceBug 2 is this graphviz.source UI element. Click on this. You will get a GraphViz document source, which you can take any directed graph program to display the block hierarchy on a page. Very useful for debugging. Also new to Magento 2, or to CommerceBug 2, is this Other Classes tab. There are many blocks and models in Magento which do not show up in the Models and Blocks tabs because they sort of exist outside of the system. They don't use standard Magento events, and events are how CommerceBug works. So what the Other Classes tab allows you to do is find these blocks and classes. For example, the layered navigation blocks live outside the normal layout. So if we use that previously mentioned search feature, we can search for layered, and we can see, oh, wow, there's a lot of blocks and classes related to the layered navigation. And that's also why it's taking your developer a couple extra days to get those features finished. Another neat feature of the search field here is, and this works on all these search fields, is the minus operator. You can also search for rows that do not contain anything. So for example, if we search for minus mage, we are searching for rows that do not contain the word mage, which would be any non-Magento classes. And we can see that, oh, hey, this system is running Mercury API, another PulseStorm extension. And this can be a useful, quick way to quickly look at what third-party extensions are doing in any section, whether that be this Other Classes tab or the Blocks tab or the Models tab. Moving on to one of the new great features of CommerceBug 2 is the Events tab. This tab will list out every Magento event used on this page. This can be incredibly useful for developers looking to customize Magento in the smart and correct way. You can also use it in combination with the search field to quickly find, a particular type of event. So, for example, I can look at the controller events and I can quickly find the name for, the pre-dispatch controller for this particular page. Similarly, also new to Commerce Bug 2 is the Observers tab. Observers, this lists every single event observer used on this particular page request. So these are the listeners, while the events, these are the events fired by Magento. The observers lists every configured observer used on this particular page. This is very useful in telling you secret things your page is doing that might not be obvious to you. Again, for Magento developers, you can see the immediate value of having this information. The Alias Lookup tab allows you to quickly look up a class alias to see if a rewrite is being applied, as well as find where any particular Magento information might lie. So catalog/product, this is currently resolving to Mage catalog model product, which is standard. In addition, if you put in a Magento class name, it will derive an alias from it for you and also list out the page for you, list out the class for you and the location on the file system. And wrapping things up, we have the systems tasks. Previously in Commerce Bug 1, this only had the clear cache button, which will clear the Magento cache for you. Still very useful. But we also have this new toggle template hints. Click this, and you will toggle the template hits on, reload a page, and you get Magento's template path hints instantly turned on for you. You can also toggle the block hints on, and you will get the block included with that, and toggle them quickly off and refresh the page. So in the time it would have, looks like the navigation cached the output, so we'll clear the cache, and now it's all gone. So in the time it would have taken us to log into the Magento admin to change the system configuration values, we've turned them on, turned them off, turned the blocks on, turned them off, realized something was wrong, cleared the cache, and got it all working again. So you can quickly see the value of that. Similarly, there are toggles for Magento logging and logging of Commerce Bug informations. Again, this saves you the trouble of glopping through the backend admin to turn things on and off. So that is a brief whirlwind tour of Commerce Bug 2's features. We'll be releasing new screencasts that goes a little more into depth on some of this functionality over the coming weeks and months. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Pulse Storm support. Thank you very much.